overwhelming emotion on the ground in Alabama, sweeping across the country.
I don't know how we got here, both as a state and a nation, but it's both embarrassing and a little bit terrifying.
Who are you to tell me what to do with my body? It's my decision. It's not yours. And how dare you tell me it is?
Tonight, the governor signing a bill into law effectively outlawing abortion in Alabama.
All human life is precious. You certainly cannot deter your efforts to protect the unborn because of cost.
Making it a crime even if the pregnancy was caused by rape or incest.
Do you know what it's like to be raped?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you know what it's like to have a relative commit incest on you?
On me, no, ma'am.
The bill sparking intense partisan fights.
He did not make a motion.
He made a motion to table.
Make a motion.
Laws like these becoming a new reality, impacting millions of people in states across the country.
What do we do?
Setting up a potential showdown in the highest court of the land.
No law is constitutional until the Supreme Court actually revisits Roe versus Wade.
I apologize to the women of Alabama for this archaic law that we passed.
Pay attention to your legislators.
The onslaught against abortion inspiring people like Mallory Hagan to fight for women's rights.
We don't end up here by accident. We end up here by people not being involved in the world around them. I, for one, think that there's a lot of people who just sort of go, it's not my backyard, I don't really care, until it ends up in their backyard when it's too late.
Miss America is...
She first rose to the national spotlight as Miss America in 2013.
Miss New York.
But Hagan, who's from Alabama, traded her crown for politics, running for Congress in 2018. She lost, but learned valuable lessons along the way. She's here in Montgomery today protesting the new law.
Now we have a bill that could potentially force someone who's been a victim of rape or incest to carry a baby. A doctor in the state of Alabama at this point would go to jail longer than my rapist.
She went to the governor's office to try to convince Kay Ivey not to sign the bill. But
I can't even make an appointment at the office. We're wondering how he got here. Welcome to Alabama.
The Alabama bill essentially outlaws abortion from the moment a woman becomes pregnant. The only exception would be if her life was in danger. 31-year-old Dina Zerlot was there yesterday when the bill passed.
I was, of course, shocked about the amount of ignorance and the amount of cowardice that was being displayed.
Zerlot pointing to the demographics on the vote in the state Senate. 25 lawmakers who voted in favor, all white men.
I still just want one of them to sit down across from me and tell me to my face after I've explained my story what it feels like to have choice ripped out from underneath you.
Zerlot says she was just 17 when she was raped. She says she was denied an abortion because the law said she was too far along, despite her doctor saying the fetus had a congenital brain defect.
She said, "I know how unfair this must seem to you, and that there's nothing else to be done, that we would have to see it through to the end." And that was it.
The baby was born blind, deaf, intellectually stunted, and living in incredible pain.
I watched for a year as she slowly died in front of me every single day with seizures and unimaginable pain. She passed away when she was 1 year old.
The Alabama bill also makes it a felony for any doctor who performs an abortion, punishable by up to 99 years in prison.
There's a general sense of confusion and alarm. Women are concerned about whether they're still going to be able to access abortions at this time. Our phones have been ringing off the hook with women calling, just want to know if we are still open.
Dr. Yashika Robinson is one of a few abortion providers in Alabama. She says she's now scared, but won't stop doing her job.
I still will provide the gamut of women's health care, and I still will work to get women access to the care that they need, and that may mean them going to places outside of Alabama.
The Alabama bill is just the latest in an all-out effort to narrow abortion rights. Last week, Georgia passed a bill banning all abortions after 6 weeks, before most women even know they're pregnant. Last month, Ohio passed a similar law. So far this year, more than a dozen states have restricted or attempted to restrict access to abortions.
I think this is a historical moment for the pro-life movement and actually for the future of our country. Roe is destined to become a historical footnote.
Kristen Hawkins is the president of Students for Life. She's been rallying around younger generations of anti-abortion rights activists.
This is kind of a domino effect where states like Alabama are all rushing to become the first state to completely ban abortions. And I think that's a huge moment for the pro-life movement 40 years after Roe versus Wade.
Yet national polls show more than 70% of Americans do not want Roe versus Wade overturned. The Guttmacher Institute reports that 1 in 4 American women has had an abortion before the age of 45. In recent days, some Hollywood actresses started sharing stories of their abortions using the hashtag #YouKnowMe.
It's horrifying that we're in a place in our country today that I could even be talking about this.
Mila Jovovich, famous for her roles in movies like Resident Evil,
Hello?
and The Fifth Element,
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
posted her story on Instagram yesterday, describing how she had an emergency abortion 2 years ago.
Abortion is a horrible experience. And if we can ease that experience for women in this nation in any way to ease the trauma, we need to be able to do that. We need to have them be in safe circumstances where they feel like they're getting the best help possible.
Statistics show that the vast majority of women getting abortions are already mothers. Nearly half live under the poverty line.
I truly believe that that is our constitutional right, and we can't move backwards, and we can't allow men to tell us what to do with our bodies. Who are you to make that decision? That decision is between me, my doctor, my family, my friends. But it's my decision. It's not yours. And how dare you tell me it is?
The Alabama bill and others like it represent a major change for anti-abortion rights activists and politicians.
My goal with this bill, and I think all of our goal, is to have Roe versus Wade turned over.
In 2019, we've seen a major change in tactics, and in state after state, we have seen laws that either come close to, or in this case, outright prohibit just about all abortions. I think it has everything to do with the composition of the Supreme Court.
The big change came with the appointment of Brett Kavanaugh to the high bench, tilting the Supreme Court with more conservative judges.
Reversing Roe isn't the scary boogeyman that the other side tries to claim. We believe that there is willingness on the Supreme Court to actually hear Roe versus Wade and hear out whether or not the decision of abortion should be returned back to the states.
I think that they're absolutely right that the substitution of Kavanaugh for Kennedy is a very significant one. But I don't think anyone really knows how Chief Justice John Roberts would vote in a case like this.
Back in Alabama, Dina Zerlot says the fight is bigger than the courts. It's about the people.
I will continue to use my voice the best way I can, continue to advocate, continue to speak out, and use what I can to fight.
For Mallory Hagan, her mission is to help keep abortion available for those who need it.
As someone who does have a pretty outspoken voice and does have an online presence and did run for office in this state, I think it's my responsibility to continue speaking up until people are heard.
The Alabama law is set to take effect in 6 months.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.